first polish is called Peace, Love, and OPI. This was from the San Francisco collection. And this is one of those multi-chrome gunmetal-y colors that looks like an oil shift, like on a rainy day if you look at the ground and there's that like rainbowy oil spot on the ground. This is one of those polishes that looks like that. Color-wise, I have gotten rid of most of my gray multi-chrome, so color-wise this is like the only one that I own. It's actually not as sheer as I expected it to be. Even the first time I swatched this when the San Francisco collection came out, I was expecting this to be much more thin because in my experience until then, multi-chromes were generally on the thin side, but this one actually covers pretty well on one coat. Obviously, I'm going to have to do probably 2 to 3 thin coats, but at one coat it does cover pretty well. You just have a little bit of visible nail line, and you can see the shift pretty well in one coat as well. So I'm going to wait for that to dry and then do the second coat. Okay, second coat now. I might actually not have to do a second coat because this covers pretty well in that second coat. Again, it is a little bit thicker. This is my third OPI Swatch My Stash video. If you guys missed my first 2, I'll link them in the description box down below. I decided to swatch all of the nail polishes in my collection, and you guys voted essentially on my Instagram and said you'd like to see it by brand and by color. So I started with OPI. And yeah, this is video number 3, and I will link videos 1 and 2 down below. Again, I actually have created a playlist for this video series as well, so you guys can get them all in one place. So everything will be linked in the description box down below. That was 2 coats of Peace, Love, and OPI, and actually I think I don't need a third coat. It's actually, again, a little bit more opaque than I expected it to be. So that is 2 coats. So this is Peace, Love, and OPI again. I think I'm going to keep it for now, again, because I don't have this color in any other brands, and it was actually very easy to work with. It was fairly opaque, and it was a really nice polish to work with, surprisingly. So this is Peace, Love, and OPI, and I'm going to keep it in my stash. This is called Number One Nemesis. I believe this was from the Spider-Man collection, the same collection that had My Boyfriend Scales Walls. They had a shimmery shatter, and they had actually a multi-chrome. This is a gray with a what is it called? A glass fleck shimmer. It's like a stormy gray with a gold glass fleck shimmer. It is, you know, predictably on the thin side, so I'm going to need a couple of coats of this for it to be fully opaque. I say predictably on the thin side because a lot of my glass flecks are actually thin like this. Although Zoyas tend to be a little bit more opaque, OPIs are always a little bit on the thin side. So that is 1 coat of Number One Nemesis. I'm going to go in now with coat number 2. It does deepen up the color a little bit. It gives it a little bit more shimmer as well. But clearly I am going to need a third thin coat. I honestly, genuinely, completely forgot about this nail polish. I mean, I always see it on my shelf, but I like forget to pick it up all the time. I don't actually own very many charcoal colored glass flecks, although I do tend to really like the more like candy colored or colorful glass flecks, just because I think the shimmer along with a bright color is like the coolest finish. It's so pretty. So another reason that I totally forgot about this, I think, is just because this color combination is not something I often steer towards. I'm going to go in with coat number 3 now, and this one definitely makes the color as opaque as possible. There isn't very much visible nail line anymore, and the shimmer is really pretty strong with this. So I don't actually know if I'm going to keep this one. This is going to go in my I don't know pile, and it's because I don't wear it very often. And like I said, it's because it's not a glass fleck that I normally gravitate towards. I think it's just, it looks like a gray version of Edita by Zoya, which I will swatch when I do all my Zoya polishes, but it's just not, it doesn't stand out to me as much as I want it to. So yeah, it's gonna be in my I don't know pile for now. So this nail polish is called Brand New Skates. I believe I got this one at CVS, and this is like a charcoal gray, again with a shimmer running through it. It's a very, it's not as dense as the glass fleck in Number One Nemesis. This one I haven't swatched in a very long time, so we'll see how this one goes. This one in the bottle looks a little bit more chromy or like frosty of a base than Number One Nemesis did. Number One Nemesis had your sort of typical glass fleck base, which is like a little bit translucent, a little bit jelly, but not totally one or the other. So this is the first coat of Brand New Skates. This is the second coat of Brand New Skates, and it deepens up the color a little bit. It's not totally opaque though, and I feel like it is a little bit streaky. It definitely applies nicely. It's just like you don't feel it grab on the polish below, but it just doesn't like look very nice when you do the second coat. You definitely can't manipulate the polish very much on your nail. So now I'm going to go in with the third coat. Let's see. It does cover pretty well, but it's still a little bit streaky, and like you can tell the parts where I put another coat of polish, it kind of wipes off the second coat. So I don't know. It's just like I haven't had a polish like this in a while, and I just am not too thrilled about it. So that is the third coat of Brand New Skates. So this is Brand New Skates. I don't think I'm going to keep this one, and instead I think I'm going to keep No More Nemesis. You can see up close that the base is frosty, and it's just, you can see the patches where it didn't apply very evenly. It does dry very shiny, but it is just not my thing. I think I'm going to keep No More Nemesis again and de-stash Brand New Skates. So this polish is called How's It Snowin', and I believe Sarah actually gave this to me. This is sorry, I'm opening the bottle. This is a dark base with like a gunmetal base with a silver micro glitter and then a bunch of small rainbow hex glitter. This is the first coat, and it's actually fairly opaque. It goes on pretty nicely. The brush on this one I feel like is a little bit thicker than some of the other OPI brushes. I know most of the OPI brushes have that like wide brush. I actually really like it, but sometimes I feel like some of them are a little bit thicker than the other ones. So yeah, that's like a little side note. And then it gets like loaded up with the polish, and it almost feels like hard to apply without it being messy. But that is the first coat of How's It Snowin'. So I'm going to go in with the second coat, and I actually think that 2 coats will be enough because that first coat was fairly dark and fairly opaque. So you can see with the second coat you get that full coverage of glitter, and the base isn't like a jelly. It's just kind of one of those sort of matte, translucent, dark bases. I don't know what to call that because it's not a jelly and it's not like a cream. And so this is definitely one of those polishes that's going to need a top coat and will probably eat a lot of top coat. It doesn't patch or streak though when you do the second coat, so it's actually very easy to work with. So this is another one that I'm kind of unsure on and whether I want to keep because I'm not going to wear it all that often. As much as I love the theory of like dark glitters and how much fun they look, I'm just kind of out of that stage in my life where I want every single glitter. So it's a kind of, I love the formula. It was really easy to use. I wish that the rainbow glitter would pop up more, but yeah, it's kind of like I'm unsure on whether I want to keep it. So this is going to go in my maybe pile. So this nail polish is called Metallic for Life. This one was from the Nicki Minaj collection, which I actually really liked as a collection color-wise. I don't listen to like Nicki Minaj's music, so I don't know. I saw that there was like a bright like chartreuse and a teal and a glitter and a pink, and I was like, yeah, that's a cool collection. This is like a black sort of jelly base with a bunch of silver hex glitter running through it. I say sort of jelly because mine does not apply like it doesn't dry super shiny. It doesn't dry super squishy looking like a normal jelly. I'm going to go in with the second coat of Metallic for Life now. This one deepens up the color a little bit. You still get a little bit of patchiness. However, it is a thicker nail polish, so I don't know if I want to do 3 coats. This is definitely a polish that would benefit from a black base, which I totally forgot about, which is why I didn't do a black base. But like some of the Deborah Lippmann nail polishes, the purple and the black and the pink versions of Happy Birthday, for example, I would actually totally wear this on its own regardless of how sheer it is, because I just kind of like that look once in a while. It does look like a jelly sandwich manicure without having to do all the steps of finding a jelly nail polish and getting a glitter to do it. But yeah, I think I'm just going to keep this at 2 coats to keep it from being too thick on the nail, because bases like this one tend to get really sticky and hard to layer a 3rd coat on. So that's 2 coats of Metallic for Life. Now I actually think I'm going to destash this nail polish because I mentioned the Deborah Lippmann black version of Happy Birthday. I think that one's called Candy Shop, and I like that one more because of the rainbow glitter, and I have not worn this more than probably 5 times since the Nicki Minaj collection came out, so I just don't get a lot of use out of it. So I know that if I wanted a black with a silver glitter, I have a silver glitter that I like, and I can easily replicate this manicure in a different form. So I think I'm going to destash this one. So this is called Center of the You-niverse, and this was from that space collection. I think it's called the Starlight collection now that I'm recalling from the last year or so. This is a black base with a black glitter as well as a silver micro glitter. The black base is a little bit sheer, so you can see on this first coat it doesn't completely cover, but as you layer it up it does get totally opaque. This one, it's pretty. I don't know, it's not totally... Like, I find the black glitter totally useless because once you glitter, like, layer it up, you won't see it. In the bottle, you definitely don't see it. You only see it when you use this first coat of the polish, so I don't know why it's there. The silver micro glitter is really pretty, though. It actually reminds me of a Wet n Wild nail polish from, like, 15 years ago that I had. That was the same sort of black base. It was a really shiny sort of obsidian black base with a silver micro glitter in it, and it kind of gives me like nostalgic heartstring pulls. So that is the first coat of Center of the You-niverse. So I'm going to do the second coat now. This one will make it pretty dark and pretty much opaque. I'm doing like thin coats though, so I will do another 3rd coat of this. It does pull a little bit on the base coat, or like the initial coat, so this is another polish that if you want to just like save time, then you could do a black coat of, a black base coat of. If you wanted to do that, I again forgot, so I didn't do that. But yeah, this is the second coat of Center of the You-niverse. So I'm going to do the 3rd coat now. As you can see from the other coats, it doesn't dry completely shiny. It has a little bit of a dull finish, so you are definitely going to need a top coat with this polish if you are looking for it, if you have it. And again, you just can't see the black glitter, so I don't know why it's there. But the black with the silver micro glitter is a really pretty polish, so yeah. With the 3rd coat, it does cover completely. You could have done 2 thick coats if you wanted to. I think it would have gotten a little bit hard to layer up if you did the thicker coats, because it does tend to like drag on itself just a little bit. So I'm going to destash this because I don't have that much use for it. I don't wear a lot of dark nail polish like this very often. I'm kind of out of the phase of a glittery black. I mean, it'd be nice for Halloween, but I can't justify keeping a polish just for Halloween when I could essentially recreate this with something else. The black glitter only makes it have sort of like a bumpy glitter texture underneath, so I don't know. I'm not a super huge fan of this, so I am going to destash this nail polish. So this next polish is called The World Is Not Enough, and we are slowly entering the browns and neutrals of my stash now, and we're kind of done with the blacks, grays, and top coats for the most part. And this one was from the James Bond collection. This is another glass fleck. It has a sort of neutrally bronzy patinaed metal sort of base. And it has a thin sort of typical OPI glass fleck formula. So it's very sheer on the first coat, as you can see. The shimmer in this is really, really pretty. I don't own a lot of glass flecks in this shade again, although I do like a neutral glass fleck, so I am more inclined to like this polish than the other polish from this video. So I'm going to go in with the second coat now. This does add a little bit more color to it, but it's still fairly sheer. I am going to do thin coats with this because I find that it's easier to work with glass flecks like this when they're thinner coats. I do really like how neutral this polish reads, even though in the bottle it does look a little bit darker. This is a really nice sort of work appropriate color that, again, it looks neutral on the nail, but it gives you just a little bit of sparkle if you are a sparkle fan like I am. So I'm going to go in with the third coat now, and you pretty much get full nail coverage on the third coat with this polish, so I'm not going to need a fourth coat. It does add more sparkle, it adds a little bit more color to the base, and then you don't have your visible nail line. So that is 3 coats of The World Is Not Enough. So this is The World Is Not Enough. I am going to keep this polish. It's one of my favorite neutral polishes. It's one of my favorite glass fleck shimmers. And again, it is a Bond nail polish, so I have a little bit of like a geeky tie towards it. But yeah, it's a really nice, subtle polish when you're looking for kind of like a palette cleanser that may be a little bit dark and a little bit smoky, but not too in your face. So this one is called Bond, James Bond, and this is one of those magnetic polishes that I told you guys about that came in the set with that gray with the hollow glitter coming in it. This is one of the 3 polishes that came in a magnetic polish set. This is like a tarnished bronze base with a really pretty gold shimmer running through it. This one I totally forgot about. It definitely has that sort of irony metallic base that magnetic polishes come with, which is not quite like a frost, but it definitely has just like a metallic shine running through it. I'm going to go in with the second coat now, and the reason that I actually kept this nail polish is because of the shimmer. Again, I don't use this as magnetic polish like I didn't use the other one as a magnetic polish. And I don't think I own any magnets anymore. After that video of like Flashback Friday trends that I did, I have subsequently lost that magnet that I was holding in that video. So this is the second coat of Bond James Bond. It actually pretty much covers the nail, so I don't have any more visible nail line left, and it was a really easy polish to actually apply. So I am going to keep Bond James Bond. I like the really subtle gold of this nail polish, and again, it's another neutral polish that I think is really flattering, and although I don't use it as a magnetic nail polish, I think that it actually functions as a regular nail polish very, very well. So this is going to stay in my stash. So this is Designer De Better, and this was from the first Muppets collection, and this is a total OPI classic for me. I feel like most people really love this polish. This is a slightly bronze toned metallic foil nail polish, and it has like specks of bronze running through it as well. It is so pretty, and this is definitely going to be a keeper. I don't own a lot of neutral based foils, and so I'm totally in love with this as well. And this is definitely a go-to fall nail polish for me because of that sort of neutral base that it has. I'm going to do the second coat now, and I love how metallic this, or shiny this polish is, I guess, reflective. It's not, I guess, a metallic in terms of like foily, or not foily, frosty nail polish, but I love how reflective this is, and it's a beautiful nail polish. So this is the second coat. It does add a little bit of opacity, but it's not fully opaque, so I'm going to do a third coat after this. Because I'm going to go in with the third coat now, and the third coat is definitely going to fully cover the nail. It is going to just add a little bit more shine, a little bit more opacity. It's not really going to change the color, but yeah, this is, again, a go-to fall nail polish for me, and it's so pretty, and I feel like it actually looks good on like everyone. So this is Designer De Better. So I'm definitely going to keep this nail polish again. It's one of my favorite neutral nail polishes, and there's not much else to say about it. It's a beautiful nail polish, and I'm going to keep it. So this last polish today is You Don't Know Jacques, which is a very, very classic OPI cream color. I believe this is one of like their original, oh no, it's not an original color. It's definitely from the French collection, but the France collection. But it is one of like the cult favorites from OPI, and it was one of the first OPI nail polishes that I sought out when I was first collecting. This is like a mushroomy brown cream color. This has a pretty classic OPI cream formula in which it looks a little bit thin on the first coat, but it builds up really, really nicely and dries really, really shiny. So I'm going to go with the second coat now, and as you can see, it adds so much opacity to the base, or the first coat, and it adds a little bit more depth in the color, and it's a beautiful nail polish. I wish OPI still, or like consistently made nail polishes that were easy to work with like this, because they're the best. Some of the classic OPI creams are just so easy to work with, and I wish that all of their creams were like this. So this is the second coat of You Don't Know Jacques by OPI. Since I do thin coats, I am going to do one final third thin coat of this nail polish. If you did thicker coats, it would absolutely be opaque in 2 coats. Again, I prefer a thin coat over a thick coat just because I find it's easier to get full and even coverage that way. So with the third coat, you can see it completely covers, and it's so shiny, it's so pretty. It's the perfect fall brown in my opinion. I love sort of that dusty brown tone, that mushroomy tone, and it's a classic OPI. So that is the third coat of You Don't Know Jacques. So I'm definitely going to keep this nail polish. It's my favorite brown cream, honestly, and it's just such a classic, and it's very neutral and chic for me, and I love it. So I'm definitely going to keep this nail polish. So that was the 10 nail polishes that I swatched for you guys today. If you guys again missed my first 2 videos, I will link them in the description box down below and the playlist where I will put all of these videos from now on. Again, I'm going to do 10 nail polishes a week for my entire stash, starting with OPI, and I'm going by color, so it's going to take a little bit, but I promise I will swatch every single nail polish in my collection for you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, if you could subscribe, that would totally make my day. Since I'm doing this nail polish series, I am going to obviously have one nail polish video a week, and then the other video a week will probably be something nail polish related or planner related, or it could also be another nail polish video. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and are doing well, and I will see you guys soon.